Thank you. All of you have 2 sheets in front of you. You have the form. We want you to use pencil on the colored form because you may change your mind over the course of this week. So you have the colored form. Right now, we want you to look at the back of that. Along with, on that white open house sheet, you're looking at the back. Okay? And so as you hear from your teachers about elective options, go ahead and make some notes, maybe star some things if you want to learn more about it, but that's kind of where we're focusing now. We'll have a break in the middle of the morning, but just kind of that's what you're paying attention to. So we don't need to fill out that front form right now. We just want you kind of looking at the back. All righty.
Oh, okay. Hi, I am Mrs. Martis. I am a firm believer that my voice should not be amplified, so welcome to my nightmare. Hi,
I'm Miss Funnel.
Okay. And we are the art teachers here. Just so you guys know, art is going to be a little bit different this year. So we are teaching just art 1 through 4. It's going to kind of smush together 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional work. It is process-based learning, right? So you're going to learn skills, art history, you're going to do a bunch of fun stuff, and, just have a great time. I mean, I'm a firm believer that we listen to music, we sit with our friends, we chit-chat, and we make art. And we really take a second to, just enjoy this creative process. So you don't have to have any, prior knowledge or experience in art. You just have to come and be willing to try and have an open mind. And it's just a lot of fun. So we offer 2- and 3-dimensional art. We offer AP studio art, if that's something that you're interested in as a college level class. Just know that you need to come talk to me, send me an email, come see me, show me the work that you have been creating at home. This is definitely a higher level class. So. But it's a lot of fun. You just have to be really driven for it. And then we also teach digital media. So computer-based illustration, Photoshop, all the good stuff there. So it's a good time. Come take art with us. Yay.
All right, I'm Mrs. O'Brien. I am the main business teacher here. We also have Mr. Lowe and Mr. Smith, who teaches the computer AP, Comp Sci principles, and computer A. So we have a bunch of different offerings for you. A lot of our classes can count for math credit, for your senior level math credit, or the VPAA credit. So accounting 1 and 2 is just basic math, looking how money flows in and out of a business. It's almost like a puzzle, seeing how all the pieces fit together. And again, there's 2 different levels of that. AP Comp Sci Principles and AP Computer Science A. Again, if you have questions about those, that should be directed to Mr. Smith. We offer Intro to Business, which Mr. Lowe has been teaching that. We partner with Junior Achievement. And if you saw first semester, these students actually create products and then sell them in school. Whatever money they make, they actually get to keep. We offer marketing, actually 3 different levels of marketing. Marketing 1 is just the basic intro class. Then marketing 2, we go into a little more depth and then do some bigger projects. And then advanced marketing, we run the school stores. So we have the Snack Shack and the Ranger Zone. If you haven't noticed this year, they haven't been open very often, and that's because I don't have a class to run it. So I really want to have people sign up for that. We do have an application process for the advanced marketing class. So if you've taken marketing 1, you haven't had time to fit marketing 2 in your class or in your schedule, we will take that into consideration. So if you are interested in running the school store next year, please stop by room 107 and get an application, or they're also in the counseling office. We offer personal finance, which, no offense to any other class that you've taken, but this is the one class that will actually prepare you for the future financially. So we look at filling out the FAFSA, looking at scholarships and grants, making things more affordable, doing resumes and cover letters, investing, budgeting, looking at different kinds of insurance. So that is offered in 2 semesters. They are totally different semesters. I would recommend taking the entire year so you get the full experience. But again, that counts. A lot of people take that for their senior level math credit. One thing that's not mentioned up here is work and co-op. If you have a part-time job, you can sign up for work or co-op. You have to take a business class while you're signed up, but you fill out a timesheet every week. You either have first or sixth hour off from school, but you get credit for the part-time job that you are doing. So a lot of great opportunities within the business market or business department. If you have any questions, you can either stop by room 107 or see Mr. Lowe in 217. And now Mr. Manders.
Good job, good job. Good morning. We doing okay? Good, good. This is fun. You're planning your future. This is fun. All right, so next year, if you have not taken a class with me yet, this is your chance to sign up for one. I teach most of those, other than theater. Let's see if I can make this work. MediaComm, a lot of you have taken MediaComm. A lot of sophomores take MediaComm, but also juniors and seniors take MediaComm as well. So there's still a chance for you to take MediaComm. In that class, it's project-based. We work on a bunch of different projects. You're working in teams, so get a bunch of your friends to sign up as well. And we learn all about cinematography and editing and storytelling, and it's a good time. I got a bunch of cameras and computers for you to use. You have to take MediaComm if you're planning on taking FX in the future. But there is another class as well. Film projects is all focused on movies, making movies, talking about movies. That's why it's called film projects. And again, your hands-on learning. We talk about cinematography and editing and definitely storytelling. That class is a lot of fun. So if you don't have, maybe you've taken MediaComm, but maybe you don't have room in your schedule for a full year of FX, film projects is only a semester. So you could sign up for that. And then there's the TV Broadcasting Lab is technically what it's called. Everybody calls it FX. We do a live TV show twice a day. It's a good time. Keeps my stress level up. It's good for me. You're running around telling stories. We air those on the show. It's a good time. At the end of the year, actually we work on this all year, right? At the end, though, we have a big film festival. And so you work on a big, long, 10, 15-minute movie throughout the semester, as well as making the shows, as well as doing stories. It's a lot of fun. Ask any of the FX kids. They have fun doing this. And then I have to talk about theater. I don't know anything about it other than it's a load of fun, and you learn all about theater. And there's Theater 1 and Theater 2. And Theater 2 apparently goes into a little bit more depth, and you get to do more productions. I don't know. It sounds fun, though. Everything it says right there, you get to do in theater. Consider that one. That's all I have. Thanks for your time.
Hello, Rangers. I'm Mr. Miedema. I teach the industrial arts. I see a lot of familiar faces. Thanks for taking my class. Those that haven't, next year's your opportunity. I teach architecture, rendering, and design is our entry-level class for architecture. If you're interested in construction, if you're interested in decorating, interior decorating, anything like that. If you like the fixer-upper shows, you love doing some remodeling at home, this is a great class to kind of learn about how houses are built, constructed, and designed. We use the computer to do all the work, and so it's not a ton of artsy architecture, but it is a lot of fun. It's one semester. You get your VPAA credits. It's all pretty much project-based, and so you get to class and you just work on your projects each day. We do one big house, and then we do kind of a three-dimensional cottage at the end. And so it's a great class. If you've already taken architecture, you can take advanced architecture. It's set up to be a year-long course. If you can only squeeze in a semester, you can only squeeze in a semester, you can do that. Talk to your counselor or myself, and we can kind of pigeonhole you in if you can only get one semester in. But it is ideally set up for a full year. That's architecture. Bench woodworking is my intro woodworking class. And so we do a lot of smaller projects, kind of cram them into a semester. I keep you busy. We do a lot of fun things. We learn how to use the machines, how to work with wood, and how to build some cool things in woodworking. That also goes into advanced woodworking class. And so that's a year-long course, again, where you get to design your own projects. We do some smaller ones that you can start out with, but then it's kind of up to you to what you want to build. That also is designed to be a year-long course, the advanced class, and so if you can only fit it in for a semester, again, come see me and I can try to pigeonhole you in as we can. Super hands-on, super low-key as far as you're just working on your own projects each day, and so it's a great class. If you love working with your hands or had some fun with Mr. Albert down at the middle school, you can have some more fun up here. Board building design is another class I teach, and so if you want to build a paddleboard, surfboard, snowboard, skis, longboard, wake surf, wakeboard, any kind of board sport, we pretty much can build any of those. And so that's a semester-long course where we just plug in and you kind of pick the board you want, and we kind of sometimes team up, and sometimes you do it by yourself, and you'll build one of those boards throughout that semester. So that's another opportunity that you guys have. And the last one is engineering. This is the one I love to remind you guys that if you are like good at math and someone's like, hey, you should be an engineer because you're good at math, take engineering one. I promise that you will know if engineering is something you want to go to in your future. It's like one semester with me, and that will tell you if maybe math is I should go to accounting instead of math, or maybe I need to go to engineering because I'm good at math. And so you don't have to be good at math. I'm not saying that, but those that do kind of see engineering as a math as a kind of a forefront to engineering, it's a great way to figure that out. Also covers your VPA art credit. It's all hands-on as far as working on the computer and going through your projects as well. So super laid back and easy to do. I have an engineering 2 and engineering 3 that you can take if you've taken engineering 1. Again, those are also full year classes that you can pigeonhole in as needed. If you have any questions, come by and see me. I think this is the last slide I got. As usual, I've got 6 dozen donuts. 3 dozen original from Krispy Kreme, 3 dozen assorted. So the first 72 people that get down to my shop after this to check out get some donuts. So unfortunately, the freshmen are significantly closer, so you guys got to run.
Thank you, Mr. Miedema. I think there's some good conversations that are starting to happen as you're hearing from teachers, as you're comparing what you might be thinking of doing. We are going to ask, though, that you continue to pay close attention to the person that's in front, speaking, sharing what their department has to offer. You will have time this morning and throughout the day to kind of connect with your peers. There's an opportunity for you. I will give you time in between the elective time and then when we present that you can kind of compare notes and take some things. So I'm going to ask that we show the range of respect that we have for all the speakers that are up here. Thank you. Mr. Burns?
Hi, I'm Mr. Burns. I'm the band director here at Forest Hills Central High School. I don't have donuts for you, but I'm here to talk about the music offerings we have at Central High. We have the incredible band, choir, and orchestras. All of these classes are year-long classes. For the choir program, we have 4 different choir offerings. Only one of those is an audition required class. That means that you must talk to Mr. Ivory, who is our choir director, about what that audition would look like. Reach out to him if you're interested in Central Singers. For orchestra, we have 2 orchestras here. Again, only one of those is an audition required class. Reach out to Mr. Poole if you're interested in orchestra or that audition ensemble. For band, we have 4 awesome band offerings here. We have symphonic band and wind ensemble. Those are our traditional concert band settings. And then we offer 2 really cool opportunities of jazz band and percussion ensemble. We get to branch out into some awesome Latin steel pan playing and percussion ensemble and learn about jazz and how to play in a jazz band. You can see up there the wind ensemble, jazz band, and percussion ensemble are audition-based classes. What you get out of a music class, you get a great group of friends, a huge community that is really special to what we do. You get a lot of awesome performance opportunities for the marching band. We get to follow along our Rockstar football team to wherever they go. So we got to go to Ford Field with them, perform on Ford Field. We get to do a lot of awesome things. The band and orchestra, the band and orchestra are excited that we are going to Walt Disney World next February for an awesome performance opportunity and to hang out at the Walt Disney World Resort. So you get lots of awesome performance opportunities and time with your friends. If you took a music class at the middle school level and you're interested in getting back into it, now is the time to check that out. Reach out to either me, Mr. Ivory, or Mr. Poole, and we can help you get started into getting back into music at the high school level. Here is your physical education department.
Thank you. Are you coming? Hello. Good morning. I am Miss Halleck. We're going to get up and move here in just a second, but bear with me. A couple of classes I want to talk about for next year. We have Global Games, which is our fun, competitive. We play some multicultural, non-traditional sports, but it is truly a competitive kind of games-based class. And then the other one is body sculpting, which is kind of a beginner level strength and conditioning. We do a lot of injury prevention and form focus in that class, as well as like lifelong learning. We do Pilates, we'll do some yoga, some weightlifting, some free weights, all of that stuff. So yeah, those are my 2 classes.
Physical activity is something that you need to do going forward for the rest of your life. So some of the things that you're going to get out of our department are lifetime fitness activities. Yes, there's game, which global games and things like that, which Ms. Halleck teaches, but there's also things like yoga, which Ms. Steensman teaches. Okay, something that you don't need a number of people around you to do, something you can do till the end of your life, taking care of your body. Okay, what do you get out of things like yoga? Stress relief. You're going to work on your flexibility. You're going to work on your core strength. You're going to work on mindfulness. Okay, so great class. You just want to, I don't want to be a part of a team. I just want to go in there, work on myself, and not have to worry about being around a bunch of people to get it done. That's the reason you would take Ms. Steensman's class. Okay, my class, strength and conditioning. Raise your hand if you're an athlete in this meeting right now. Okay, so that's the stereotype is it's only for athletes, but let's start off with that. Why does an athlete take strength and conditioning? Because we're going to work on maximizing your performance on the field, on the court, wherever it is that you compete. We're also going to work on keeping you healthy. Most of you start your season, you've worked out the entire year, you get to the season, and you don't work out from then on in. So at that point, your abilities start to decline, and your incident of injury goes through the roof. Okay, so obviously we want to take care of you. We want to make sure you're prepared to perform at a high level, be a state champion, but at the same time, we want to make sure you finish the season by staying healthy. Definitely a class we're working on making you bigger, faster, and stronger, without a doubt. What about the non-athlete? Why would I take that class, Coach? Because, again, this is a lifetime fitness activity. Strength training is by far one of the best things that you can do for the rest of your life. Okay? Again, I don't need a group of people to go out and do it. I could do it by myself. Probably a lot of your moms and dads go out and do that right now at the local gym. It's a great reliever of stress, another way to reduce your weight, burn calories, okay? It's something, again, we can do by ourselves, and we can do it for the rest of our life, hopefully. Okay, a way to maintaining our upright position, keeping our posture, avoid osteoporosis, take care of our heart, all that kind of stuff. So as you start to look at PE going forward, it's no longer game, it's no longer some of the things you did in the middle school or over at Central Woodlands. Now it's time you need to start thinking about your health for the rest of your life. Thank you for your time. Who's up? I don't know who's up next.
I could be wrong. Whoa, yeah, we got a lot. So, math has quite a few options for you guys going into your senior year. Thank you. Many of the classes you guys are already aware of. AP Pre-Calc, AP Calculus, AP Statistics, College Algebra. Those are great options.
But what I want to talk to you guys about are the analytical thinking in math and sports statistics. Sports statistics is an excellent intro to stats class that uses sports as the lens to kind of make stats make sense. We study about a different sport just about every week, every other week: golf, tennis, baseball, football, and use them to learn the skills that you would use in a college-level stats class. Analytical thinking in math, we peel back the theory, so there's no trig functions, no proofs. I know it was your favorite unit in Algebra 2, but there's no logs in analytical thinking in math. We're focused solely on the art of problem solving. So every week we attack a different problem or different puzzle and work on our skills in problem solving. Things like Sudoku, logic puzzles, to develop your skills solving problems, which is probably the most important skill you get out of math. If you got questions on those skills or on those classes, please stop by. I'd be happy to answer questions for you. No phone. And social studies. Do I just...
All right, thank you.
Yep, that works.
Okay, I'll go quick if you're quiet. So we have 3 options for psychology up here. 2 on the left, 1 semester classes, regular psych and social psych. Regular psych's a great class. It'll teach you a little bit more about yourself, how the brain works, why you do things. Social psych, same idea, but more in social interactions within society. And then AP Psych is a full year class, great class. Dives into the brain, how it functions, and then the psych aspects of it. That's a great one. You want to do that. Then we have Honors Model UN. That's a semester-based class. There's a club and a performance part to it. But that's just a class. Come try it out, see if you like it. We've got AP Econ, Micro and Macro. Macro will be first semester. Micro is typically second semester. Both great classes, especially if you're interested in going in some sort of business. AP Gov is an awesome class. Relevant real-world information. It's going to help you understand what's going on in the government, how it impacts you. That's a 1-semester class. You could pair that up with one of the econ classes. And then we have History versus Hollywood. Very cool. We watch movies. It's fun and entertaining. We kind of analyze what is factual about the movies and what is not. All great options. Look at that.
Oh, we're spreading out. All right. We are all here to talk to you about the science options that you can take next year. And on the back of your sheets, the white sheet that you picked up, you'll see where all of our rooms are as well. So we'll just kind of introduce ourselves. I'm Miss Butler. I teach AP Research and also AP Biology.
I am Mrs. Richardson, and I teach AP Biology and also AP Environmental Science. So stop by room 240 if you have questions on either of those classes.
I'm Mrs. Stone, and I teach physics, AP Physics C, which is a 1-hour class, and it's calculus-based. And then next year, we're offering AP Physics 1, which is also an hour class, but it's algebra and trig-based. So come see me if you have questions in room 227.
I'm Ms. Balsito. I teach advanced geology and environmental science.
Hi, you guys. I'm Miss Webster. I teach AP Environmental Science and also Human Anatomy and Physiology.
I'm Mr. Vandenberg, and I'll be doing forensics.
Mr. Colgrove, I teach AP Chemistry.
Mr. Chetty, Bio and Chem.
Okay, so come and see us if you have questions on science.
Nice. All right, everybody. I'm the last one. I believe in you. You can do it. You almost made it. Way to go. Murdoch, sit up for me. Let's go. Let's lock in. Let's lock in. We can do it. All right, guys. My name is Mr. George. I'm going to talk about our ELA offerings. We have 4 offerings up here that I'll talk about today. The first one's writing for publication. Writing for publication is the intro class for advanced writing for publication. Another word for advanced writing for publication would be the Central Trend. The Central Trends are a school newspaper, news magazine, online news staff, and we'd love for you to join that. In order to join the Central Trend, you need to take writing for publication. In writing for publication, we learn how to write journalistically. You'll practice interviewing. You'll practice writing about everything from sports to individual people to events to groups. So that's just a great intro class. And then advanced writing for publication, once you've taken writing for pub, you're just a member of our staff. And that's a great environment to be in. It's super student-led. We have student editors that kind of run the class on the day-to-day. So those are 2 awesome ones. Next one is sports journalism. That's the FHC Sports Report. Can't recommend this class enough for people that are interested in sports in general or specifically writing or talking about sports. Just this past week, our assignment was to present for 3 minutes on a sports current event of some kind. Okay, so if you're a sports fan, you like talking about sports, writing about sports, podcasting about sports, FHC Sports Report is a great class for you. I teach that one in my room. We have a full podcast studio here in the school that we use for that class, so would really recommend Sports Report. Lastly is yearbook. Mr. Fisher teaches yearbook, and yearbook is what yearbook sounds like. You spend the entire year putting the yearbook together, everything from photography, interviewing, and producing the yearbook that everyone sees. So that is an extremely important class and a ton of fun as well. Those are our ELA offerings. Thank you, everybody.
Hi there. I just want to say one thing real quick about yearbook. So you do have to apply for it. So we have those in the counseling office, and I think Fisher has them as well. So you are going to get a couple-minute break after I'm done. I'll be really quick. I'm Ms. Velding, one of the counselors. Couple things I want to talk about. Most of you have seen this. We've brought it up in classrooms. We call this the bingo board. But for any of you who are thinking of maybe an online class, maybe Mrs. O'Brien talked about work experience and co-op. What else is on there? Dual enrollment. Any of those opportunities. This is on our website. Click on it, learn more. Come talk to your counselor, okay? What I want to say for the purposes of your form, if you are in KCTC, if you are thinking co-op, if you are thinking online, fill out 6 classes in the building, make a note on your form that you want KCTC, that you want an online class, okay? I'll say it again. Fill out 6 classes on your form, 6 in the building classes. If you're thinking one of these other opportunities, make a note of it, okay?
So again, what you are doing today, you just had the scheduling showcase. That was the showcase, the elective showcase. You are going to have an opportunity in a little bit to go do that open house format, talk to those teachers. Then our hope is that throughout the day, as you go to your classes, we want that colored sheet to be accessible to you so that you're going to start to fill that out with your teachers, okay? We hope that you have some questions that you maybe need clarified, and that we would like you to make sure that you have the accurate information for that. So counselors are going to be available by appointment and at lunch starting tomorrow. We have a nice midwinter break in there for everybody, right? But through next week. And so as you are, I heard really good, one question already. If I'm going to take, as a senior, if I'm going to take personal finance for my senior math, can I put that in? Yes, those types of things. If you're thinking of taking, I have an email from a parent, what online classes are options. Those types of things we want you to kind of talk to us about. And you're wondering how to do that, that's where we'd like to have that conversation. We want you to be checking in at home and with your teachers in a couple of weeks, we will meet with you then and throughout your math classes, okay? A reminder of who the counselors are. Keep in mind, though, that during this scheduling process, you can talk with any of us that are available to you. So Ms. Jacoby worked with the 9th graders, but she's got lots of experience with upperclassmen, so you can talk with any of us at those lunch times as needed. Reminder, we were in your English language arts classrooms in the last few weeks, where we talked about graduation requirements, did a review of that. We went on Power School so you could see your grad progress. We had you tentatively draft some 4-year plans. Ladies in that second row, can you please put your phones away? Thank you. All right. When we were in those classes and we were looking at, hey, what are those classes I need to get my diploma? What are the other options? Hopefully you started to think about these things. Remember that maybe you asked some questions, you jotted some questions, some thoughts. Go back to that form and see what those things were that you were thinking about. But just a reminder, for graduation requirements, all of these categories need to be fulfilled somehow. As you get into that senior year and those in junior year, it is not just always so clear as how am I going to fulfill those things. If you have questions, we want you to let us know. Remember, in Power School, you can track what is it that I need, okay? So this is just a reminder that you have to get to that 22.5 credits to get that diploma, okay? As you're thinking about classes, 10th and 11th grade going into junior, senior year, those of you that are going to be seniors, you know that you have a lot more flexibility. You have a lot more options for next year. So we're hoping that this time you're taking some real pausing, figuring out what considerations do I need for what I want for after high school. Our assumption is that all of you are going to receive that diploma, but our hope is that what you're doing for senior year is based on what you want to be doing after high school. Same as you're going 10th to 11th, you're really starting to think about a little bit more, okay, I want to make sure I'm set for graduation, but also what are the things that I want to be able to do in my senior year. So when you're thinking about classes, making sure that, hey, I've done the appropriate coursework, okay? Kind of doing that 4-year planning. If there's something that you want to get to in your senior year, for your junior year, what is it that you're going to need, okay? A lot of times we have students that have really lofty goals, but as you get older, you have usually some more responsibilities. Maybe you're working outside the home. Those extracurriculars ramp up. So making sure you can balance everything that you need to balance is really important. And again, sometimes we think, hey, I'm going to take that AP course because I know that that's going to look good. But if you're not excited about that material or kind of passionate about what you're going to be studying, AP is college level work, so you're going to spend some more time on that. So just kind of keeping all those things in mind. Because we are in an environment, if I were to ask you if you think that once you graduate, how many of you are thinking college might be an option? Okay. We are in a space where typically 85 to 90% of our students do pursue college after high school graduation. Not all should or will, right? It should depend upon what kind of work am I going to do, but we know that we're in that kind of space. So as you are thinking about that, you do need to think about graduation requirements versus college recommendations or employer recommendations, okay? And keep in mind that especially for you that are going to be seniors, many colleges require several core classes beyond what is required to get a diploma. So that means things like those social studies and the science courses that were presented as options, you may want to consider taking some of those in your junior, senior year, even if you've met the graduation requirement, okay? And if you're not sure, that's when we want you to talk with your counselor. Okay, a few things. This is important, I think, as you are a little bit older and wiser, right? Understanding how this process works is important. You are filling out your course requests. You are fortunate to be in a district that says, hey, we want to offer to our students what it is that they're asking for. Some schools and some places say, hey, these are our elective options that we offer every year. You fit into that, and that's what you're going to do. They're saying, no, we want to make sure that we offer to you what you are asking for. So you are requesting courses now that will help determine what it is that teachers are teaching to some extent, right? So we do this early so that the people that make the decisions about, hey, how many teachers are you going to have in what departments, that they have that information, okay? So that if we had 70 students who want to take theater, we're going to have 2 hours of theater, right? If we have 30 students, we're just going to have 1, et cetera. So that's why what you're choosing now really helps dictate what it is that teachers are going to teach and what options you're going to have. So then once we have those numbers, then we build what's called a master schedule. That's when we know who's teaching what hours 1 through 6, right? So when are the classes that you're going to be taught going to be offered? Once that schedule is built, that's when we fill students into that. So that's when you are put into courses. We meet with you if there's, so let's say you are someone who wants to take board building and design along with AP Spanish. And they're both offered at the same time. That's called a conflict. We hope that we have all of this done so we can meet with you to say, hey, what is it that you want to do out of those two? So when we talk about the importance of that form in front of you, if you look at the colored form right now, and you look at the front of the colored form, we're going to go through this in a little bit, but when it says alternate options, we do need alternates from you, okay? A lot of times students will just, oh, it doesn't matter what I put in here. It does, because if there's a conflict, if there's something that doesn't fit in your primary choices in those first upper 6 boxes, sometimes you will have to take your alternate, and we want your alternate to be something that you'd actually be interested in taking, okay? We then build schedules. You get your schedule August 1st, okay, is when it becomes available to you in Power School. You have a 10-day window to look at that and to say, hey, you know, sometimes we do have, especially junior to senior year, a to-be senior may find that, oh, I did a visit over the summer, and I do think I want to apply to an engineering program at Western Michigan. And they would prefer that I have a physics class, and I didn't request that. So then you may say, hey, I really need to fit this in, okay? Or maybe you ended the year in your math class, and it went better than you thought, and you want to take a little more challenging course, or vice versa. Those are the things that in August we can say, hey, what can we fix prior to the start of the school year? So when you have that Google form that comes out to you in the beginning of August, that's to say, hey, this is what I'd like. We then will change what we are able to in that time frame, but then when you start school in August, probably, right, sometime in August, that schedule is set for the rest of the year. There sometimes is an opportunity. It's called extenuating circumstance. If something really has shifted for you in the fall and you need a change for second semester, that goes to a committee. That's not just your counselor. That includes an administrator, teacher input, all of this stuff. So we do very few schedule changes once that school year is underway. Some of you may have heard a no, right? If you've wanted a change. It's not something that we choose or want to, but it's because this process is pretty complicated and there's not always space. So I say all of this so that as you are filling out that form, as you are thinking about contemplating what is it that I most want to take, what is it in terms of alternates am I willing to take, that you take the time to do this really well. Okay? It's always, you have a week and a half before we come into classrooms. And when we get into that classroom, so everybody look at the top of the form there. Do you see where it says have it input into Power School by when? February 24th, okay? We want you to put your class choices in by then. We will still meet with you to make sure, hey, that sheet matches what you put in Power School, but you have until then to kind of pick these things, okay? Couple of things on that form. We do ask for parent signatures, okay? This is a conversation that should be had in the context of your family. Maybe, you know, I have 3 kids. Each is a little different. One wanted an opinion on every single class. The other was, hey, Mom, I need you to sign this, right? And then we were somewhere in between. Whatever it is, but make sure that you are having some kind of a conversation at home, and then that signature does happen, okay? You will, how many of you are thinking of doing KCTC or are already in it and going to take it again next year, okay? Those of you for sure, we are hopeful that everybody gets into the program they want to be in. However, you still need to complete this form, like Ms. Velding said, with 6 classes. So you may think, I'm going to be doing KCTC, hopefully you're right, but we are still going to select 6 courses. Question, or is that a stretch? Stretch, okay. So if you are thinking about doing any of those special opportunities, we'll talk about those, you are still going to request a full schedule of classes here, and then we'll make note of some of those other things, okay? The alternates are something important for you to do too. So I'm going to show you a few more things, but again, a reminder, we want you to talk to your teachers about options, discuss them at home, meet with us as needed. We'll be at lunches. You can make appointments if you want a little longer time. If your parents are some that they're like, well, we want to be a part of that discussion, you can make an appointment with us, and we can call mom or dad from the office and do a conference call, so kind of keep that in mind. We're not going to do that quite yet. I want to go to our website and just make sure that you know some of the resources that you have. So if we look here, the course profiles, those are videos. So you had the teachers come and talk a little bit. Some of you have seen and paid, depending on the class that you're in, have had more time to pay attention during FX to some of the course profiles that they've been showing. But if you want to hear a student perspective on classes versus just teacher perspective, remember those profiles exist, okay? So those are on the website. The course request form, so if your family wants to look at those, this is a reminder of that 4-year plan that you have in your Google Drive. It should be labeled like with your last name, called 4-year plan. The one other thing too, the scheduling choice board. So some of you, what I think is really important for you to be thinking about, dual enrollment. Dual enrollment is a special category. If you think that that's something that you are going to want to consider, that you're taking college courses while in high school, you need to know what that means. So reading about it there and then having a conversation with your counselor is important. As you're a junior and senior, that becomes an option for some students. KCTC is up there, online courses. Some of you may be thinking of taking an online course. We want to know the why and the what, and that's an option for you next year. College athletes, if anybody is thinking of doing D1 or D2 athletics, we want to make sure that we know that. Ms. Velding is our coordinator. She's going to want to know and make sure that you are in the right spot for what your goals are. You have to have certain number of classes, credits in particular areas. So those are things that as you are thinking about what is happening after high school, if you need to learn some more, this is a good time for you to do that, and this is a good spot to look. Personal curriculum. We've talked about that. Some of you, none of you yet have one. We write personal curriculum. So personal curriculum is a way to substitute a credit, one type of credit for another, for example. So most of our personal curriculum, sometimes a student may not have time to fit in a PE course, for example, or a visual performing applied arts. Maybe you've been in music and a language and you're taking a lot of core classes and you haven't had the opportunity to take a yoga or strength and conditioning, okay? And senior year, it doesn't look like you're gonna have that again. then you would probably be eligible for what's called a personal curriculum. Again, if that's something you're going to do, you want to let your counselor know that, and so that we get you on a list and we do the right paperwork, okay? Personal curriculums happen for students at the end of their junior year. So during this time, we get a sense of, hey, who needs one, who wants to apply for one, and we get you that paperwork like in May, okay? So this is a spot that as you are thinking about, some of you are like, oh, I have a job, what does that mean? I don't want to be at school all day, okay? Then you need to know, though, what the requirements are for work experience and co-op. That's on there. We have a lot of students ask about taking summer school classes. What does that look like? So this is where, instead of you walking up and saying, hey, I want to dual enroll, what does that mean? We want you to say, I'm thinking about dual enrolling in math because I'm in AP Calculus as a junior, and then we can have that further conversation. So do a little self-educating first, okay? All right. Any questions in general on that form? You're filling out both semesters. You guys have done this a couple of years if you've been here. If it's a full year class, it goes on both sides. If it's a semester-long class, you need something opposite semester. You are not choosing, there's a couple other things on this form. These are common questions. You are not choosing which semester you're taking a class. So just because you put on that left-hand side, like yoga, and on the other side, maybe you put health, it doesn't mean that you're going to be put in those first and then second semesters. So if timing of classes is critical, you're going to want to make sure that you have notes, a conversation with a counselor so we can make special notes of that. Spalding, are you thinking of anything else? Okay. All right, so you're going to keep the green sheet with you, blue sheet with you all day. Right now, take out that open house form again. Okay. Teachers will be back in their spaces. Don't get up yet. Just give me one more minute. Teachers will be back in their spaces in a few more minutes. You are expected to go to 3 spaces. If you return that sheet, as you turn that sheet back into your first hour teacher, you'll get a little special treat. So, guys were great. Thanks for your attention.